Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in time and space. This is Jefferson Davis from blindphotography.us. That's blindphotography.us. So we are rebranding, and I wanted to explain that real quick, hopefully, and let you know what's going on and why I am doing this. And why me and my family are doing this, because I really liked F128. I thought it was a good name. But I couldn't get that name everywhere, right? So I had to do something. My wife has a friend that works in public relations, PR, and works on branding. And she said that I should capitalize on the fact that I'm a photographer that's going blind. So I thought about it, and we came up with Blind Photography. I couldn't get .com, but I got .us. My email will be blindphotography@icloud.com because I use Mac. And I switched over to Squarespace for this website because we're doing a lot of product integration. We're offering prints, framed prints, metal prints. There's a lot of offerings there. So it just integrated better with Squarespace. Everything does. They work together. Yeah, they're expensive, and they don't come with email, and you don't have any back-end server stuff. That's the negative side of it. The positive side of it, it's easy to use. You can integrate all your shopping and all your stuff on it. I can throw used cameras on there and use it like eBay. I can do all kind of stuff. It integrates with Google. It integrates with Bing. The search, and it sends them regular site maps. It's just a really good website builder, and I've been very happy with it so far. The host I use for jeffsdavis.us, I've been using them guys since I think 2015. They used to be affordable and good quality, and I had a whole server, so I did email, and I could have multiple web addresses on that server. At one time I was building websites for other people, so I had like 8 different websites running off of that one server, and I loved them, but the price kept going up. And I called them last year. After being out of work for a month, so this was in March. And they were going up to $200 something from the like 80 or 90 they used to be. Gradually went up, but it jumped $100 in a year. And I know they have a lot of cost. It was A2 hosting. And I said, look, I'm going blind. And I just got all my documentation. I said, I'll give you the documentation. I'm supposed to be going blind within 2 years. And I explained all this. I said, I've been out of work. I can't pay you the insane price. So what they did is they ended up giving me my old price to pay for this year through May, but it's going to jump. They said we're not doing this but once. So now it's going to be about $300, I think. So I will keep the email, which is fairly cheap, the email server, because I've had J Davis at Jefferson Davis since 2015, 2016, a long time. And I only give that email as, I don't give it out to everyone. Obviously, I'm doing it here. But if you want to get in touch with me, use blindphotography@icloud.com. I can answer any question you have. But go check out our website, please, blindphotography.us. I have the store, of course, and I'd love for you to check that stuff out and maybe buy a metal print, because black and whites look amazing on metal prints. And I will talk more about that in the next podcast, but right now I'm just telling you why we're doing this. But on the blog, I've been writing a lot more because it's smoky and cold outside. We have a fire that's it went from 700 acres the other day to now it's 3,000. So that's something somewhat to worry about. We always have the threat of fire here in the late summer every year, but I mean, it's a good ways away from here, but that's a lot of acreage to jump up. So, and I don't think they have much of it contained, but they are working. Those guys are coming in from New Mexico, from California. I heard one guy coming in from Washington State. So they're pulling in guys from everywhere to work on this thing. So hopefully they'll get it knocked out in a few more days. But having a fire this late, we've not had the precipitation here in Arizona this year to fight it. These trees are going up like matchsticks. I mean, just whoosh. So something to keep in mind. So that's why I've been inside. But I wrote a article, several articles in the last 2 weeks. The last one and the latest one was my favorite medium format camera 2024, which ended up being the budget-friendly Agfa Isolette 2. Great camera. This one came with a rangefinder. I knew what the little pouch was on the leather case. I was hoping there was a rangefinder in there, but for like $5 is what I paid for it. 2 years ago, I was like, well, I knew what the pouch was, but the rangefinder is worth more than the camera is. It's one of the combi meters. So that's my favorite medium format camera because it's handy. And it's got a pretty sharp lens. It's only f4.5, and most of the time I'm going to be using it in the middle of the day anyway. Who cares? I still have my Zeiss. I still love them, but I mean, if I dropped the Agfa Isolette 2, that would suck, and break it, mind you. It wouldn't be the end of the world money-wise, because I'm only out of it about $20 with shipping from 2 years ago. So that's why that was my favorite camera. And then my favorite 35mm, you'll have to go over there and read about that. So go over to blindphotography.us/blog and read all those articles, because I'm trying to provide a service for you guys and explain what we're doing and the rebranding and all this stuff. But jeffersondavis.us will go away. I'll keep the name just in case, and I'll keep the email for that reason. And that won't cost me a lot of money, ridiculous money every year. And I'm already getting a lot of traffic on this site because it integrates so well with Google. It's already, I'm getting a lot. So, which is great. Maybe get some sales soon. And we're building this site so that when I go blind and at some point here soon, well, hopefully not soon, but too soon, my wife will be able to operate it, and until I can get adjusted, of working blind and deal with the sales and all that stuff. And any proceeds from this right now will keep us afloat because I have to go to a blind school for 13 weeks. Well, I was going to say next year, but it's actually going to be this year, 2025, and I won't be making any money during that time period. So, and that's just to help me adjust to a complete transition in life. So, it's not nothing I'm depressed about. It's gonna, it is what it is, and you just have to deal with things the best way you can, and have a good attitude about it, and laugh a lot. That helps, right? And that's what I'm going to do on this podcast. We're going to talk about photography, and I'm going to tell you about. I'm going to try to interweave, the whole going blind thing and the struggles that I'm having. But I'm not going to sit here or stand here as I am right now and cry to you. That's what I'm going to do. I may complain occasionally about things, but the state is working with me, not about disability or anything, but just to get assistance, not money, but assistance with once transitioning, and getting a new job, preferably a work from home job because I can't drive anymore. So I'm working with them, jumping through a few hoops, but they make it pretty easy. Once my doctors fill out the information for them, they make it pretty easy, and through that I will get everything that I need to continue and go to the school and all that fun stuff. So I'm working on a lot of different things, but I will keep this blog updated, and I will be changing out the photographs that are for sale, every week. And if you subscribe to our newsletter, we're not going to spam you to death, I promise. Maybe 2 emails a week, maybe 3, and sometimes that's just going to be blogs. But if we offer a discount for our subscribers only, so you have to be subscribed. Right now we're doing one until January 20th. It's 15% off, but you have to be subscribed in order to get the code. So, and that's 15% that we're not getting, right? So, go over there and check it out, blindphotography.us, and let me know what you think. Leave a comment on this video. And I'm sorry, I know it's one boring picture, but it's streamy bokeh. It's a beautiful flower, in the middle of winter. How can you complain? On some bricks. And I'll tell you the story of this thing. So I just got that Spot-O-Matic. I cleaned it out, replaced the light seals. Sorry. Replaced the mirror bumper, I believe, on that one. I'll have to look and see. And I took it out for a walk, and this was around the time that I was not working, or I was out of work for a month and trying to get transferred to another location closer to home that I could walk to, because I couldn't drive anymore, and I was depressed, which is not something normally in my vocabulary. I don't give myself time for that. Not to say that anyone does, but I try, if I know that I've got an issue, I try to resolve it, right? Or try to do what I can to fix it. You can't fix everything in life like my eyes, but I try to figure a way to deal with it, right? That's what we have to do. And I was walking along, and it was early February, 2024, and I'd known, I was dealing with doctors, my employer, which were being jerks, but they finally, after almost getting sued by the state, they finally decided to act right. Dealing with all that, I was going through a lot. So, and I just married my wife in April of 23, and I joked about one day I'm going to go blind, you're going to have to leave me around. Well, I didn't know when I told her that in 22 that it was going to happen so soon. And I had a lot of stuff in my head, right? So I'm walking along, and I'd already photographed taken a beautiful capture of a church cross. But it's the middle of winter in South Carolina, and but there was a south wall on this building, brick, and I live in Arizona now. We moved out here because this is where my wife is from, and it's a beautiful state, just like South Carolina, but in a different way. I love Arizona. It's a great place. I don't love all the smoke we've got right now, but we live in Payson, up in the mountains. And it's a lot like home, but a lot drier. The people are nice. It's great. But I was walking along here, and I see these flowers sticking out of this brick. And I was like, even life can grow anywhere. There's always possibilities. No matter where you go in the world, no matter how or in the water, there's always life. I don't know what your religious beliefs are, but I'm a Christian, not perfect. I don't know why people say, "Oh, you must think." No, I'm an old school Christian that will admit to you in a heartbeat, I am not perfect at all, and I don't judge others. And that's what real Christians do. We try to live a good life and be humble and follow Jesus' example and love him and love life and try to help other people. And that's what this website is all about, because when I'm blind, it will continue, and we've got a lot of stuff we're working on that I can't talk about yet because it's legal stuff, nothing bad, but just stuff that I don't want to disclose yet. Good stuff, though. Good stuff. There may be some bigger stuff in the horizon, I believe. So, a lot to do, very busy, but I want more people. The whole goal of this, I'm going to do some affordable. What's it going to cost you to get a film camera, a good film camera, and some film, a podcast or a video? I'm going to do the podcast and stand here and talk to a microphone. I'm still going to do that, but I'll also do videos and add up for you what it's going to cost you to get a good film, a 35 millimeter camera. And, you know, how much is the film? I mean, the film is getting more expensive, I know. But what's a good film? Because I've used a ton of them. I'm not like, what's that guy? The Naked Photographer. I'm not going to do the stuff that he does. I live in a little 2-bedroom house that we're renting. So there's no room for that. I have a nice enlarger sitting on the porch because there's nowhere to put it. But we're going to work on that and hopefully figure out something in another month or two so that I can make prints again before I can't, right? And teach my wife how to do it. And I'm having to teach my wife a lot of how to do stuff, photography-wise and life stuff. Like, what if the power goes out? What do you know, where's this? Where's that? How do I do this? How do I change the filter on the car? You know, she knows a lot, but, you know, how do I... all these things that you know, I do and take for granted, I'm not going to be able to do. There's already things I can't do that annoy the crap out of me, like changing brakes, because I just can't see good enough to do it. But that's about it for the day. I'm sorry for the buts and the ums. It is what it is. I'm tired. I'm getting over bronchitis. I've worked all day, so I hope you guys have a great day whenever you listen to this. And there will be great stuff coming in the future, I promise. And I hope you guys stay subscribed. I'm not going to beat you to death with trying to sell you stuff, but it's a fact of life. We all have to make money and we all have to pay the bills. So I, like you, I have bills. I mean, don't do something stupid and buy stuff you can't afford. Like, you know, all of us have done at some point, and then by the grace of God are able to pay it off. But just go out and shoot. That's all I ask. And send me some of your photographs. You know, nothing naughty. My wife will murder me. Nothing like that. If you do that kind of photography, that's your thing, whatever. I'm not... I don't need to know or see about it. But if you do landscapes or just plain portraits, stressed plain, everyone's clothed, right? Then send me some photographs. Tell me what you're up to. What you're photographing. Are you doing seascape, street? What are you doing? Talk to me. You know, I love to talk about cameras and photography. And hit me up on Instagram, Blind Photography by JD. I'm always here to help if you have questions about film. If you're interested in film photography, I am going to start doing, probably in March, because we're kind of having to plan out stuff. I'm going to start doing a basic course like everyone does, but you've got to look at it from everybody. There's a lot of photographers on YouTube. They're mainly YouTubers that do photography because they make money off of advertisers and YouTube money. YouTube money's not as good as it used to be. So they make most of their money off advertisers. They'll talk about the new Sony cameras or the new Nikon cameras or whatever, and it makes them money. I'm not hating on them. I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to start offering probably in March a beginner basic. We're going to get a basic film camera, and my wife's going to video this. It's going to be entertaining for that alone. And I'm going to talk to you about perspective and you can go on Instagram and look at the most popular photographers and see what they're doing. You can imitate it, but it'll never be yours. You'll never have your own style that way. It's important to know other photographers, especially the most celebrated ones throughout history, short history of photography. So it's important to know their style, but you have to develop your own. And everything I do has a certain look. I know what I'm looking for. I want contrast. I want really good light and shadows, but not a ton of separation. I love contrast because, going blind, I need contrast in my life. And I love the ethereal feel that I get out of the old Takumar lenses, and you can't get that out of modern lenses. They are working on it. They're trying. TT Artisan and Yang Nuo even has some really good lenses out there for the Sony, the FE mount. But those old Takumar lenses and the old, trying to think, the old Zeiss lenses, all those old lenses. Minolta, and I could talk about this for an hour. I'm not going to. I'm going to let you go, I promise. Minolta is a true-to-life capture photography. So events and stuff like that, Minolta's the way to go. Or you're just trying to do true-to-life portraits, Minolta's the way to go. But if you want that ethereal feel that I love, and that it just makes me crazy, it's you got to go with all these older lenses, the M42 mount lenses, and I'm going to talk about that. And the ones that you can get dirt cheap that are amazing, they might be a little radioactive, but they're pretty cheap. And we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. We're going to talk about the, exposure triangle that everyone beats into your head. And we're going to talk about why you want an older film camera, not a newer one, because you want to learn this stuff. The match needle exposure is perfect. That's what you don't need to go buying you a cold shoe light meter if you have a light meter in the camera. Don't do that. That's cheating. Use the old meter. It's great. It's analog. It's awesome. They work. And if in black and white, it may be a stop off. But who cares? Most of them, especially the Pentax, are usually not off. As long as you use the proper battery. That's the only concern there. But I'm going to teach you this stuff, and we're going to make it economical because I want you guys out there to get out and shoot and do, I want somebody to come up to me in 10 years when I'm completely blind and won't be able to see a freaking thing, or 5 years from now, whenever that happens. I'll have a little tunnel vision for a long time, but I'll be legally blind soon. But I want somebody to get something out of what I'm doing here. And at some point, if that becomes, good, I may put a paywall on it where you pay like $3 a month or something. But we're not there yet. So, I got to work on all this stuff. I've got to figure out the lesson plan about what I want you to do. And we're going to do monthly. This is going to be free. We're going to do monthly things that I want you to concentrate on, and then send in the pictures, and we'll look at them right here, and I'll tell you from my perspective what I like and what I don't, and I'll do it with a complimentary sandwich. I'll find something good in there, to start with, and then tell you what I, think you could do better at. And I am not, I've never won a Nobel Prize for photography. I'm just a guy that did it for a living for a while. Well, I've been selling images for a long time, but I'm not famous. But if I can help you, and YouTube's free, all it's costing me is time and a little electricity. So, the website cost me, but I just want to help other people. I'm going blind, so I want somebody to go out there and shoot film. Please. And it'll give me very much satisfaction that somebody got something out of something I did, right? I've used to write short stories and occasionally wrote poetry and stuff, and all that stuff's gone, most of it, because it was a different era, a different time. I wasn't married, and I didn't work 2 jobs, and I wasn't going blind, so I had a lot, and I didn't have any rent, so a lot less stuff on my plate. But one day, I may get back to doing that, and you can do that blind too. Imagination is a great thing, and the dictation software can even on the Mac here. I have a Mac Mini. It's actually really good, and it understands my Southern accent somehow, just like you folks. But anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. We've gone way too long. I hope you guys have a great day and the rest of your week, and let me know what you think about all this, the rebranding. I hope you understand why from this lengthy little video here, and I hope you guys have a great week, and let me know what you think. I will do podcasts with other photographers. I would love to do that. I just got to figure out how to set that up in Zoom. I used to do a podcast all the time and had up to 5 different people on there with me at any given time. But back then, we weren't using Zoom. We were using Skype. So I'll have to look into that and see what I know you can record in Zoom, but then I have to pay for Zoom. But we'll figure that out. We can totally do that and send you a subject list, a show notes of what we agree to talk about, right? And showcase each other's work. That's always great. But anyway, go check out the website. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below, or my ideas. My wife wrote a really good article under the About section about me and her and dealing with someone that's going blind. So it's really good and heartfelt. So go check that out too. But check out the camera reviews. I've got a few on there, and I talk about, various things, and it'll be mainly, camera and photography related. But I'll also talk about going blind and services, the help that I get from the state, as far as not financial, just assistance and learning and adjusting to a new way of life. And again, I'm not crying about it, but it's a factor that I have to deal with on a daily basis. Because I don't have, right now, I don't have any vision to the right, past the, your eyeball there, or past none. And I can't see my nose anymore. That's kind of annoying. So I have about 35 degrees of peripheral vision, something like that. So it's going down fast, folks. But I still have 20/50 corrected in the center, which is pretty good. It's kind of like looking through a lens with the pincushion effect. If you know what the pincushion effect is, please raise your hand or give me a high five or something, because nobody else is going to know. And you'll know you're a true camera nerd. I mean, it's a common term, but yeah. Let me know what you think. I hope you guys have a great day. It's Jefferson Davis signing off. See you over at blindphotography.us.